The whole purpose of marketing is to understand consumers. They want to engage them and they want to interfere with the way consumers act and think. In other words, marketeers want to be able to understand how and when consumers buy, and in order to understand that and to influence that, they need to first understand why consumers buy what they buy. In marketing, there are some important concepts that you need to understand in order to become a marketing guru. Well, first of all, in the first phase, you need to understand the marketing process. That is discovering the need, the want, the demand, or the problem that the consumer has in order for you to be able to come up with a product, a service, or the solution to his need to solve his problem. And you can watch that video to understand the marketing process in the info card right here or in the links down in the description. The second phase is to understand the marketplace and the consumer behavior, because you want to be able as a marketeer to come up with a strategy to influence his buying behavior and turn him into a customer. In this video, we're going to look at the entire consumer buying behavior. We're going to discover the factors that influence it, the types of buying behavior, and also the buying decision process. As consumers, we buy things every day, and this is also the main interest point of the marketeers. Well, their challenge comes when they try to understand us, because we differ so much in age, in income and education level and whole other aspects. Therefore, understanding these differences and being able to influence our buying behavior in order to turn us into customers from consumers became the main challenge for the marketeers. When the consumer actually buys something, he or she turns into a customer, because now he bought the product. Well, before that, just before the decision to take place, there is an entire buying process that takes place in the mind, so in the black box of the consumer, and the first step of that is to understand and to recognize a need and how you feel after you purchased something. This figure shows that the buyer decision process consists of 5 stages: needs recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, the purchase decision, and post-purchase behavior. So what this means is that after long studies, marketeers actually discovered that no matter how long we take before buying something, maybe some of us buy very quick, some of us need a longer time, we all go through the same buying decision process. So let's start by looking at step number 1, which is recognizing the need of the customer. Well, before that, actually, you need to learn about the needs, wants, and demands of the customers, the differences between those. If you want to do that, you can see the video right here in the info card, and there is also a link down in the description for a separated video that I've created about the needs, wants, and demands of the customers. The need recognition is the first stage of the buyer decision process, in which the consumer recognizes a problem or a need. The need can be triggered by internal or external stimuli. The internal stimuli is when one of the person's normal needs, for example hunger, rises to a high level enough to become a drive. The external stimuli is when something external, such as advertising or a discussion, determines a need to become so important that a person starts considering it. Basically, the first step for the consumer, from a consumer perspective, is to realize that you have a need that is so important that you need to satisfy it, or that you have a problem that is so important for you that you need to solve it. In the information search stage, the buyer decision process leads to a consumer to a step where he is motivated to search for more information. If the consumer's drive is strong and a product satisfying that need is near at hand, he or she is likely to buy it. If not, the consumer may undertake an informational search. Basically, what that means is that in the first stage, the consumer realized he had a need or a problem that he needs to solve or a need to satisfy. Well, in the second stage, he will look at what he knows. If he already knows a solution to his problem, or if he knows a product that will satisfy his needs, he will take that first. But if he doesn't know that, he will go through an informational search. So he will look for a product to satisfy that need, he will look for a solution to his problem. There are several sources where consumers can obtain information from. The personal sources, such as family, friends, neighbors, or acquaintances. Commercial sources, such as advertising, salespeople, dealer or manufacturer web and mobile sites, displays and packaging. Public sources, mass media, consumer rating organizations, social media or online searches, and experimental searches such as examining and using the product. After the consumer has done his research, now comes the third step of the buying behavior decision process, namely the alternatives evaluation. In alternative evaluation, the consumer uses information to evaluate alternative brands in the choice set. Depending on each individual person, consumers might or might not have a close, careful calculation before buying something or a logical thinking before buying something. And you may wonder why? Well, because some persons have some attributes that they need to consider before buying something, such as the style, such as the price, such as the performance, and they will put a high degree of importance on these attributes, but it differs in the order they want them. The purchase decision is the fourth step of the buying process, where the buyer makes a decision regarding which brand to purchase. There are two important factors that can come between the purchase intention and purchase decision. The first factor is the attitudes of others, and the second one is the unexpected situational factors. In the first category of factors, we mean about family, friends, or well, persons around you that will share their opinions about the product you want to buy and might therefore put thoughts in your head. And through external factors, we think about the income or maybe the price difference or maybe the availability of the product. And finally, after all this time, after realizing you have a need, after doing an information search to solve that problem, after that you've evaluated all the alternatives, here comes the last step of the process. You actually buy something, you turn into a customer, and now you want to have a post-customer or post-purchase behavior. This is the stage of the buyer decision process in which consumers take further actions after purchase based on their satisfaction or dissatisfaction. The difference between being satisfied or dissatisfied by a product comes from the difference between the consumer's expectations and the product's perceived performance. So basically, you will be satisfied or not depending on what you expected from that product to do and what it actually does. Of course, as a marketeer or as a company that just sold a product, you want your customers to be delighted by their experience so they can be very satisfied by their buying decision, because contrary, they will go into cognitive dissonance, and word of mouth can create a lot of negative ads for your company, for your product, and basically they will share their negative experience with their friends and everybody nearby, and that will have an influence on your company. As a summary, when making a purchase, the buyer goes through a situation process consisting of need recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, and post-purchase behavior. During the need recognition, the consumer recognizes a problem or need that could be satisfied by a product or service in the market. In the information stage, consumer proceeds to alternative evaluation, during which the information is used to evaluate brands in the choice set. From that point, the consumer makes a purchase decision, actually buying the product, and finally, in the final stage, the consumer takes action based on satisfaction or dissatisfaction. That is called post-purchase behavior. This was everything for this video. I hope it helped you understand the buying decision process and that you will remember that it has 5 important steps. If you'd like to learn more about this topic, well, learn that I've created separated videos on the following topics: on the consumer buying behavior, the factors that influence it, and that you can watch an at-length video about the consumer buying behavior, that you can watch all these videos in the info cards right here, or check the link down in the description. One more thing, if you are a fresh entrepreneur or you want to open or you just opened your very first company, you might want to have a manual for creating your business plan. And more than a business plan, you might want to create a communication strategy and a marketing strategy for your company. Well, in this case, I've already helped you. In the links down below in the description, you will find a link with a manual on how to create your personalized business plan that can be applied on any type of company, for any type of product and any type of service. And only by filling in that manual and completing the notebook, you will create a personal marketing strategy, a personal communication strategy, and a business plan for your company. Also, if you may want to thank me for this video, you might buy me a coffee. I run on a lot of coffee to create these videos, to do the informational search for the video, to film it, to edit it. If you want to do that, there is a link down in the description below. And also, as a new feature, you can now join my channel, you can subscribe to my channel. And it of course helps that if you subscribe to the channel, if you like the video, or if you comment in the comment section down below, because you know how YouTube algorithm is nowadays. This was everything for this video. Check the other ones on my channel and I will see you at the next one.